Hey, fearfully, wonderfully made family. Today I am outside. Today is December 22nd, and I'm just sitting in a nearby parking lot from the place that I normally go every other day or in between days to do the Instacart. And I know I've been doing this series called Don't Hate the Player, Learn the Game. And so I want to talk about gig work for a minute. I want to talk about what we need to learn about doing it. If you're going to do it, you need to have strategy. You need to have consistency and you need to have determination. And along with that, you have to have the wisdom on how to conduct your day. And I'm sorry if I'm looking to and fro, guys. The sun is kind of glaring in my eyes a little bit. And matter of fact, let me reach down and grab my sunglasses real quick. That should help me eliminate that problem. I'm gonna clean them off. But anyway, as y'all know, I have been doing gig work since I want to say October of this year. My unemployment check ran out in September. And actually, I'm sorry, I want to take that back. I started doing gig work in the middle of September. So I've been doing it October, November, December. I've been doing it for 3 months now. And it has helped carry me. I'm going to tell you that. It really has. But let me tell you some of the things that I've learned while doing it. I've learned that you have to set boundaries with doing it. What do I mean by that? What do I mean is that when you are new to the gig economy, what winds up happening is you take all these orders that you really don't need to be taking. And what happens is you wear yourself out. Okay? That's why I said, don't hate the player, learn how to play the game. And we can use that principle in all things that we do, y'all. And I'm serious about that. So let me tell you some of the things that I've taken away from this. One, time is really your greatest commodity. Time is. It's not the batches, is not the mileage, is actually your time. You have to be strategic with your time. You have to look at the batch and determine, okay, is this worth my time? Is it worth the time I'll have to take doing it? Meaning that, how long is it going to take me to do this shopping and then drop it off? And if it's going to take you more than an hour, I would say no. The best day you can have is you have 30 minutes for a total batch. And you're like, I know y'all like, what? 15 minutes in the store and 15 minutes to get to your destination. That is the best batch of the day. If it's going to take you longer than an hour, decline it or go offline. The one thing about Instacart is that you don't have to do a decline like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all of that. You simply just don't accept it. And then they don't ding you based upon how many you take or you don't take. But the best way to get around even not accepting it is just to simply turn the app off. To simply just turn it off. Go offline. Yesterday, I got so many upside down orders, I took none of them. And here's the other thing I want you to understand. Gig work will try to take advantage of you or exploit you on rainy days. No. They will try to give you more mileage. They will give you lower incentives. I had one yesterday. Now, you guys might be like, oh, you should have took that one. That was good. I'm going to tell you why it wasn't good. $87. $87.38, I believe. And I think the $80 was the batch being paid and maybe $7 for the tip. Now, the reason why I didn't take it is because the mileage was 43 miles. And it had the nerve to have 2 stores attached to it. That's an upside down order. I'm not taking that. You guys let me know if you'll take it or not, because I'm not taking it. I'm just telling you what I'm not doing. And so, that's the crazy part about all of this. Like, you have to really discern whether something is good or bad.
That's just how we roll. You know what it is, how we roll. You know.
So I will say this. If you plan on doing gig work of any kind, Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, Spark, whoever, you must strategically plan out your day, and you have to be determined that you will not take upside down orders. And I will explain what those orders are again if you don't really understand what those are. Upside down orders are orders that look good on the surface, but they're not. You ever heard the saying, all money ain't good money? Well, all money ain't good money, especially when it comes to doing gig work. Now, I was telling you earlier that they will exploit you. Don't get it twisted. If they can get 3 batches out of one person, they will. I mistakenly did that the first time. And guys, that order, I almost messed that whole entire order up. Matter of fact, my first order, I messed it up really bad. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to get this money. I needed the money. And yeah, I did need the money at the time. But my thing is, no. Because when you take those type of orders, unless you really systematically have it all down pat, where you know you have systems in place. And I mean that you are in a store and you have like 3 bags, 3 different shopping bags. Like, you literally bring your own shopping bags to shop for the person that you're shopping for, so that you don't mix up those orders. If you want to do that. Now, I would say if you're in the same store and you want to take the batch order, go ahead. I mean, you're already in the store. It makes sense to do. And sometimes it don't, because they don't add a lot of more money. Like, I had one order, I think they add maybe $5 more. I'm like, $5 more? What are you talking about? And then, another order, I think they might have added $15 more. But that's not rare. Sometimes these batches, when you're inside the store on one order and the second one comes through, it's like, okay, well, do you want to accept this order? It'll offer like $5 more. And you like, no, because that's not $5 worth of work. And let me tell you what really happens with these orders. You be having people in the midst of you shopping, they want to add another order. Now, that's okay every now and then if you are a tipper. But if you are not a tipper and you are adding orders, add on to your order. No, ma'am. I'm not doing none of that. And they will do that to you. I had one person tip me 65 cents. Now, guys, first of all, let me say this before I go on to the other. Maybe that was all they had to tip me. Maybe that was all they had. And I'm going to go with that theory. Rather than tipping me nothing, they decided, well, I have 65 extra cents. Let me tip them that. Okay, because sometimes that may be the truth, y'all. I know y'all like, no. Sometimes that may be the truth. Maybe the person didn't have more than 65 cents. So I don't want to knock them. But there are those out there, y'all. They can tip and they just choose not to. But if you're not going to tip somebody, don't expect extra service. Because you want us to be all that we can be, but you refuse to be all that you can be. I'm just simply saying. Make it make sense to me. It's not going to make sense. So those are the upside down orders that I'm talking about. The ones that flip out, inside out, and they don't tip you. They're not going to tip you. And, the people that you're working for know they're not going to tip you. Okay? But they want more for less. They want more service, but they refuse to pay more. And that's sort of like how the world is. They're always trying to, they call it economize. How can we get more without spending more? And I'm going to tell you right now, it takes money to make money. You have to spend money to make it. That's just the reality of things. So in the gig work economy, you have to figure out in your mind, what are your boundaries? What are your boundaries? My boundaries, they vary from day to day, okay? Maybe today I feel like I only want to do 1 to 3 miles today because I'm just, I'm tired, or I don't have the extra energy to be doing that, or whatever, right? And you could decide, okay, today I'm only going to do this. Or you could decide that I'm only going to be doing this through my whole gig economy. I'm not going to, sorry about that. I got a phone call, y'all. I'm not going to go outside of my boundaries. Now, there are days I feel like, okay, I just want to ride around, drive, whatever. I might do 7 miles at the most. But it has to make sense to me to do it. It just has to. If you are not getting $2 per mile, then it's not worth it. So if I'm going 7 miles, and this is the other thing that I found out, y'all. I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody was telling me that drives for Uber and Lyft, they don't pay you for going there, right? And I don't know if that's true with the gig work or not, but it could be. But me going to the store, plus going to the drop-off point, are they paying for that? I don't really know. But even if they aren't, this is what I do know. They do not pay you the mileage to go back. That part I do know. I know they don't pay you the mileage to go back. Okay? And so you have to think about that. So if it takes 7.3 miles to go there, it's going to take 7.3 miles to go back. So if that is the case, if we do the math, right? You're only getting paid one way. You should be getting paid at least $14.06 for that ride. But if we really were being strategic about it, we should be getting paid going back too, which would give us a grand total of $28.12 plus whatever the tip is and whatever the batch amount is. And I think that's an order for me. That is a good order. So I'm saying you're paying me $12, right? Maybe I'm getting a $2 to $3 tip. Maybe. Okay. Some days I get 5, some days they'll give me 7. That's a good day. But if I'm just talking about just a good day in general, let's just say $12 for the batch, $5 tip. That's $17 added. $45.12 for that trip is worth doing. Okay, because you're getting paid to go back. Now, you have to decide what is best for you. Maybe you don't care about mileage. Maybe you don't care about that. I do. I care about time and I care about mileage. First of all, I care about time more than I care about mileage. So again, you have to learn how to play the game. Don't hate the game and the system that they came up with. Learn how to play it. And the one thing you can do is you can reject the offers. So what you're going to do is you're going to train the algorithm. Okay, they're not going to take this offer. They're not going to take this offer. We have to give them this or don't give them anything. And so you have to figure out which one that you're doing. I don't do the promos either, guys, because let me tell you why I don't do the promos. Because I'm not going to make the promo. Especially if they purposely give you batches that are going to take more than an hour. You're not going to get out there. Listen, you're going to be out there all night and all day trying to get... Sorry, y'all. Had another call come in. You're going to be outside trying to get to this $30 extra that you may not get to. All I can say is it is better not to chase money out here. You need it, but it's better not to chase it. And it's better not to chase it because then you'll start taking any and everything and they'll just start sending you any and everything. Okay? And you don't want to be sent any and everything. I don't. I want somebody to put some respect on my name, some respect on the fact that I'm out here providing a service. That's what I want. And I think I've been in... Let me go with this. I was going to say something else, but because I've been in customer service for almost over 30 years, I've seen different scenarios. I've seen how they treat people, the loyalists, the ones that want to be all loyal and they tell on everybody and all of this stuff. I have seen these people wind up with nothing. You've done all this work, but it benefited you not. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in overtime. I believe in getting in there, getting that money when you can get that money. But what I don't believe in is that you're exploiting me. And we have to learn how not to be exploited. Because if they can, they will. If they can use you to get all of their hard batches done or their hard work done, they will use you to do it. You have to be determined. I can work smarter, not harder. I don't have to be slave driven. I don't have to be beat down like a mule to get this done. That's the way I feel about it. I'm learning how to play the game. And here's the thing, when you learn how to play the game, you can flip the game. You can create your own rules. And that's essentially what we need to do as far as ourselves, because we know what's best for our lives. We know that, I'm of a certain age. I don't want to be doing this or that or that. And you have the right to create boundaries. Okay? You have the right to create them. And we do understand, even though you have boundaries, there are certain things you might have to sacrifice over here or over there to have those boundaries. But at the end of the day, if you can look yourself in the mirror and you can say, you know what, I've done what I know I could do. These are my boundaries. They're not to be amended in any way. Because if I amend them, then I'm saying that I'm okay with the status quo. That's why I love all of my dashers on here. I love the way they're like, no, decline it. I don't care about no acceptance rate. I'm not going to accept these offers. And I love how they are set in stone. They're like, it doesn't matter. I'm set in stone. This is what it is. And if I got to come back out here later, then I come back out here later and do what I got to do. And I love that. Because that takes such tenacity. That takes, wisdom. And if we are going to be doing the gig economy, we have to know that they need us more than we need them. And that's what we have to learn in general terms, guys. There is somebody that's always going to need your service. And a lot of people don't really realize that they need your service. But we can't allow people to keep taking us for granted, abusing us and neglecting us and saying, oh, you take this and shut up. We can't do that in life, period. Whether that's with your spouse, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your others, whoever. You cannot allow people to use you up until you have nothing left. That is not a feeling. That is not a place you want to find yourself in. I'm just telling you, it's not. Because it doesn't feel good. You have to value yourself more than that. And I'm not talking about you don't take a temporary job or do this in between and in the meantime, because I believe in that too. We always got to do what we got to do in between and in the meantime. I'm not one of those people that will tell you don't do it. I'm just saying, do it with a goal in mind. And the goal should be, I'm going to do this for said time, and then I got to move on. And that's what we all have to do. That's why right now I'm not even doing DoorDash whatsoever, y'all, because it's just time to move on. It's oversaturated in California. It's not car friendly. Unfortunately, it's scooter friendly, but then they don't even want to send the scooters too far out because I guess the scooters can't carry more, which I don't think that's true at all, because I've seen where people have, the ones that drive the scooters or the motorcycles or whatever, they have these big old batches on the back of their, or satchels, I should say, on the back of their bike, and they carry stuff just fine. And maybe they are for the rural areas. I'm just not finna go buy a bike. I'm just not finna go buy a bike and do that. For whatever reason, guys, I keep getting these calls. But I want to say, every day you have to be determined to remember your worth. Work smarter, not harder. And to set boundaries. Those are the things that you have to do every single day. And aside for that, give God the glory and the honor, and be grateful, because I do think that being grateful goes a long way. It really does. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in a little while. And I will be back with another video. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.
Don't worry about me, I'ma be alright. Got G.O.D. all over my life. Don't worry where I've been, what I did, how I came up. Everything was a sin until they changed. Don't worry about me.